Always drinking green tea, and it's always out of this cup. Do that for you guys. Hey guys, Aimon here, and this is where I explore my creative philosophy. So why should we care about improving ourselves when the world is I would consider myself someone who's somewhat aggressively into self-development. You know, I want to improve in all areas of my life. I want to get better in everything, whether I'm playing video games and I want to be the #1 in that game, or I'm in the gym, or I'm making films, I'm doing creative things. I am someone who simply just wants to be better in all aspects of my life. And, you know, generally that's a good thing, but I find there's a couple of things that stop me from wanting to improve. And the main thing is that it just feels like the world is entirely broken. There's riots all through a lot of first world countries. A pandemic has swept the earth and destroyed a lot of lives in the process. Deforestation and, you know, global warming is happening at a rate that we simply could not stop unless we started to act 20+ years ago. Everyone is forced to be greedy because they are raised on a capitalist mindset. So it's so easy for people to be nasty to each other and act out of their ego, which causes all the problems in the world. And I could go on and on and on and on. And if you have a shred of consciousness and you can actually see what's happening for what it is, it's easy to see that there's a lot wrong with the world. And you know, for someone that wants to improve themselves, or that thinks that they want to have a better life, and then you just look this way and you see all of these problems happening, just weighing down on you. It's almost like, what is the point of trying to be better? When all this is going on, what's the point? And this is the biggest thing that I struggle with on my self-development journey, is that it's like, what actually is the point? Why should I get out of bed today? Why should I go to the gym today? Yeah, I'll look a bit better or feel a bit better today. What happens when global warming just destroys the earth, or, you know, something happens and because humans are so wrapped up in their ego that they can't actually see the thing for what it is, just to stop it preemptively? Why should I improve? Now, I know it's been pretty depressing up until now, but I'm going to share some of the things that actually helped me get through this, because this is, as I said, the #1 thing that stops me from wanting to self-develop, to create content, to post content, to build better relationships, to try and improve myself, to try and become a better person. These are the thoughts that stop me from caring about doing that, become more nihilistic, because what's the point? But there's a few things that I can implement that actually help me overcome these things, and I'm gonna share them with you right now. The first and main thing that stops me from thinking with such nihilism and stops me from wanting to pursue better habits and to become a better person, and it's probably the biggest thing, is my close friends. I have a couple of relationships that really ground me and make me remember why I take the actions to be positive and to try and make better changes and become a better person. And the thing is, you know, they make me remember that it's not actually about all these larger scale problems, because you can spend all of your time focusing on these larger scale problems, which makes you feel like what's the point of doing anything in your life? But when you realize that everything that you do in your life, first of all, might actually have a positive effect on these greater things, even though it feels super insignificant sometimes. But secondly, when you build better habits, you actually enjoy your life more. And while that's a very selfish way to think about it, when you zoom all the way in, if you are thinking about things in a negative way, in a way where it's like, what's the point in actually doing anything? Then that's actually stopping you from enjoying your life right now. And are you going to let some large-scale problems actually stop you from enjoying this small amount of time on this earth? Because the thing is, your life could be taken away from you at any point. I could go outside and go to the gym and get hit by a car and die right now, in which case you're not even seeing this video. So just throw that in there, Aimon. Damn it, if I don't die though, you're gonna throw that in there. And so it's this small mindset shift that when I'm with friends, they kind of remind me of that fact, because when I'm spending the time with them and laughing and joking and participating in habits that improve my life when I'm with them, nothing else actually matters because I am enjoying my life at that time. And I do feel the positive benefits of actually pushing forward and trying to be a better person. And that has a ripple effect on the experiences that I'm having with other people, which in turn motivates me to do more of the same thing and forget more about the larger problems at hand. Because the thing is, nothing actually matters unless you have great people to share it with. Doesn't matter how successful you get, how big you get at the gym, how good you are at your job, how much you've made it by yourself. If you don't have people to share it with, nothing matters at all. So if you focus on the relationships that you have, or if you focus your energy on building higher quality, better value relationships, then these large scale issues will just fade away because you'll be experiencing your time on this planet with those people, and you'll be having fulfilling relationships which will echo across the rest of your life and change your attitude, change your mindset to a more positive one. You know, I find sometimes that when I am sitting in this negative mindset, it's just because I need to socialize a little bit more. So the second thing is, and I say this a lot in my videos, it's a common theme, but that's to remember the deeper purpose. You know, and I return to this mission statement idea from Donald Miller, who wrote books like Building a Story Brand and Marketing Made Simple. He's an absolute legend, but I've taken his course on Business Made Simple University. This is not a sponsor. I just love his work. And he frames having a mission statement in a really important way. And without actually diving too deep into it, essentially what he says is your mission statement should consist of essentially 3 elements. One is the problem, the second one is the goal, and the third one is the stakes, like what's actually at stake. So first you have to identify what the actual problem is, and I'll share with you my mission statement right now. And the problem for my mission statement is knowing that ego is the root of all problems. And then we get into the goal element of it. I strive to be in a perpetual state of growth and self-awareness so that I can live my dream life. Right, so I've identified this problem that's happening, and then all of a sudden I have this pathway that I have to go on to overcome that problem. And then the third element is the stakes. What's actually at stake? Like a superhero or a supervillain, you know? They always have something at stake so they can save the earth or whatever. And so my third sentence is, and raise the consciousness of the earth. So what's actually at stake is the consciousness of the earth, right? And if I do what I'm trying to do, which is achieve my dream life through growth and self-awareness, which there's a whole bunch more elements to this, but this is just the very top layer of the mission statement. And I realized that what I'm fighting against is the problem. That's the villain in this story. Then all of a sudden, there's these 3 layers of purpose, which make everything just seem worth it, you know? Because there's a goal for you, and you're trying to defeat something that is evil, and you also have a larger issue at hand that you are contributing towards, which is the consciousness of the earth in this instance. And it may look very dramatic to some people, but you know, I've thought about it very deeply, and that's my mission statement. And whenever I return to that, the nihilism and the negativity in all of the world just kind of fades away, and I can focus on that, and it just kind of reinvigorates what it is that I'm doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing, you know? So the third thing is just to curate all of the media that's coming in, which I did recently. And you know, you would have seen in my first video of this year, basically just cut out all of the negative media that is coming into your life, because it's so easy for that to just flow into your life, flow into your mind. And the more you see of that, the more you believe of that. And so if you are subscribed to a lot of things that are telling you all the negative things that are going on in the world, such as the news, then you will live in a state of fear and hatred and all of that. And that will just consume your life, and negativity will consume your life. And it will be much harder to get out of that rut and be in a more positive mindset where you actually want to do positive things and improve your life. So that's a huge thing, is to just curate the media that's coming into your life. And the fourth one, and it's not really a solution, is that sometimes I just have to sit with the feeling. You know, and you know, some people might label it as depression. Some people might label it just, you know, some kind of mental illness or negative thoughts. You know, and we all have them. We're all just people, right? But sometimes these thoughts do come in. It's like, what's the point in doing anything? And even if I've done all of those first 3 steps, sometimes I'm like, yeah, but you know, I don't really care today. And I just want to play video games and, you know, maybe hang out with a friend and not really do anything. And that's okay. And then sometimes I do that. And at the end of the day, I realized that that's actually all I needed to do, was to just waste a day away and have a bit of fun, not think too deeply about having this huge purpose and all these things that are wrong with the world. You know, just kind of hang out, just enjoy yourself for a day. Just sit with these thoughts, make sure to do a bit of meditation, eat well, exercise, the usual. And sometimes I just wake up the next day feeling fresh and I'm like, man, I just needed a day to just sit. And those thoughts, they're gonna be there sometimes and they disappear the next day, you know? I mean, if they're very, very strong, maybe seek out some help instead of just watching my YouTube channel. Cause like, yeah, I've done a lot of self-development, like 10 years of reading books and things, but not a healthcare professional, so don't seek medical advice from me. But yeah, that's the 4th one, is to just kind of sit with it. Because I find it does go away. And even though sometimes it's strong and sometimes it makes me just not want to do anything, because what is the point? You know, sometimes you just have to kind of sit with that, let it be for a day or 2, and then you'll eventually come out of that rut. And as long as you're doing all these 4 steps, then hopefully this nihilism will subside. So they're my 4 practical tips for getting over the pointlessness of the world, or breaking through all the negativity and still pushing towards improving yourself, even though it can seem pointless and like everything is just stacked against you sometimes. Hopefully this rambling has made some sense to you and has helped you. And I would love to know if you do experience some of these downsides sometimes, because I definitely do. And it kills my vibe sometimes, you know? So I don't want to be alone, so if you could let me know, that would be sweet, because, I mean, come on guys, don't want to be depressed forever. But yeah, hopefully you've gotten some value out of this. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Creative Philosophy. My name's Aimon, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.